For our lesson 5 problem set, we are going to essentially take all we've learned about metric problems and really put them to the test in this application problem heavy lesson 5. So we're going to start with our directions, things that we must include. It says model each problem with a tape diagram. Do not forget your tape diagrams and solve and answer with a statement. I will say this again. The Reagan special, one of my classmates, Reagan, does not like this part, but it is required, as it says in the problem. It says, for problem number 1, the potatoes, I do love potatoes, the potatoes Beth bought weighed 3 kilograms, 420 grams. Her onions weighed 1,050 grams less than her potatoes. How much did the potatoes and onions weigh together? So in order to figure this out, I know my potatoes would be a certain amount in my tape diagram. I know that my onions would be a certain amount less than my potatoes, and I would have to combine both of these together to figure out my total weight. So potatoes are 3 kilograms, 420 grams. And we know that the onions are 1,050 grams less. So I'm going to need to take this 3 kilograms, 420 grams, minus 1,050 grams. And immediately I'm seeing an error. Right now, if I were to ignore this, I would not be able to do 420 minus 1,050. So I could either convert all this into grams, or I can just take 1 away. Now I can go ahead about solving this problem. 0 minus 2 is 0. 2 minus 5 I can't do, so I'm going to borrow. 12 minus 5 is 7. 3 minus 0 is 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. 2 minus nothing is 2, so the answer for the amount of onions, and that's key, the amount of onions is 2 kilograms, 370 grams. But the question asks, how much did the potatoes and onions weigh together? So I am not done this problem. I may want to be done, but I am not done. I've only just figured out how much I have in onions and potatoes. So now I need to take these potatoes and onions and add them together. Lining them up, it's a little bit easier to line them up, especially when we have different categories of these units. So 0 and 0, 0. 2 and 7, 9. 4 and 3, 7. 3 and 2, 5. So the total weight of onions and potatoes is 5 kilograms, 790 grams. And what I notice is that there is nothing to cash out, so that is my final answer. And there is my statement. All right, let's check out another problem on this page. It says Cheyenne's barrel contained this many liters and milliliters of paint. From that container, she poured in 1 liter, 118 milliliters more addition. The first day, Cheyenne then used a total of 2 liters, 125 milliliters of the paint. At the end of the second day, there were this many milliliters of paint remaining in the barrel. How much paint did Cheyenne use on the second day? Oh, this seems brutal. So, we know at the end we have a certain amount left over, right? 1,769 milliliters. We used 2 liters, 125 milliliters. We know that we added 1 liter, 118 milliliters of paint as well. And we started with a total of 6 liters, 775 milliliters of paint. So the tape diagram may be tough, okay? But you're trying to work through this problem. So if I have 6 liters, 775 milliliters, and I know I added 1 liter, 118 milliliters. That is the amount that I would have. 8 and 5 is going to be 13. 7 and 1, 8, 9, 8. So she had this barrel, added 1 liter, giving me a total of 7 liters, 893 milliliters. The first day, Cheyenne used 2 liters, 125 liters. So we would do 3 minus 5, I can't do. 13 minus 5 would be 2. Oops, excuse me, would be 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. 8 minus 1, 7. 7 minus 2 is 5. So now I know at the end of the second day, there were 1,769 milliliters of paint remaining. In other words, that's the same thing as 1 liter, 769 milliliters. When I subtract that, what I'm going to notice is I'm going to need to borrow. So, 9 milliliters, 3 liters. What that tells me is how much did she use on the second day? The whole concept of this activity, we'll do one more problem, is we're bouncing back and forth between conversions, addition, and subtraction. Number 5, the gas tank in Zachary's car had a capacity. That means it could fill up to 60 liters, all right? 60 liters. He adds 23 liters, 825 milliliters of gas to the tank, which already had this many milliliters of gas. How much more gas could Zachary add to the gas tank? So we know it has 2,050 milliliters. I'm going to simplify that. It is 2 liters, 50 milliliters is already in there. He added 23 liters, 825 milliliters. So how much is left over? So I could either add this up and subtract by 60 or take 60 and subtract it by 23, then subtract it afterwards. So if we take this 60 liters and cash it out, it'll be 59 liters and 1,000 milliliters, and subtract 23 liters, 825 milliliters. Ten minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 2 is 7, 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 3 is 6, 5 minus 2 is 3. Now I have to subtract the 2 liters, 50 milliliters. 5 minus 0 is 5, 7 minus 5 is 2, 1 minus nothing is 1. 6 minus 2 is 4, 3 minus nothing is 3. Which tells me how much more gas Zachary could add. Zach could add 34 liters, 125 milliliters into the tank. Same type activity, you're just taking the word problem and turning it into a computation problem.